Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to share with you a video on mathgames.com, specifically how to create an assignment using an activity that you have already searched out that you want to assign to either your entire class, all of the students that you teach if you're departmentalized, or to specific students within your class or both classes. So let's get started. So the last video I left off with explaining the different features of the activity once you select an activity. So now I'm going to show you how to assign that to your students. So right now I'm still on the symmetry activity and I had already started it just to demonstrate to you the features once a student starts practicing within an activity. So now I'm going to scroll down to one of these tiles here that I discussed and described to you in our last video. So I'm looking for the create an assignment tile, which is the bottom row, second from the left-hand side of your screen. It's blue, and it's called create an assignment or create assignment. Okay. And notice when you do hover your mouse over any of these tiles, it kind of gives you like a speech bubble. So it does give you some information about what that link is going to do or what it's for. All right. So I'm going to click on this link. And notice it jumps me right into the create assignment page. Also notice on the left hand side menu bar, you are now in your assignments section. This is one of the teacher tools. If also just want you to know that if I was in classes and I clicked on create an assignment, it would bring me to the same page. However, the difference between classes, when you click on create an assignment from classes, and how I got to this specific page is this specific page now, because I was already in an activity and I clicked on that blue tile at the bottom of the activity page, it's actually going to create an assignment for me for that activity because so I have already selected that activity from when I was doing my search. Okay. So I'm just going to, after I do this, I'm going to jump into classes and create an activity kind of from scratch. So I can show you how to do that. It's kind of the same, but there's a little bit of a difference. So I want you to be aware of it. All right. So if you notice, the first thing I want to bring your attention to is the bottom of the screen. So the bottom of the screen says estimated time 1 to 2 minutes. What does that mean? How come that's there? That is there because when I clicked on the create an assignment tile from my activity page, it already is choosing that skill or that activity for my assignment. And currently, it's going to take my students 1 to 2 minutes to complete this assignment. That's what it's estimating. Okay. And another reason why it says 1 to 2 minutes is because if you come up here to the top right under question amount, it automatically defaults to 10 questions. But if I were to change that to say 20, notice that the estimated time also changes. Okay, so that's where they're getting this information from the question amount as well as the skill that I'm assigning to my students. All right, so let's come back up to the top left-hand side of the page where it says assignment name. Obviously, you want to name the assignment whatever it is. I mean, it's up to you. However, it will make it easier for you to recognize the assignment, especially during the time when you want to see the results of the assignment. So the assignment name is important for you in that sense. Okay, moving to the right, it says question amount. Again, I explained to you what you can do in that area. Drop down menu, least amount 10, most amount 50. Okay, back over to the left, you'll see link with. Now, this is important. You want to keep it on none. If you do use Google Classroom, you can definitely link it to Google Classroom, but students would have to access that assignment from Google Classroom. Actually, they can they could access it from both places. But if you use Google Classroom with your students currently for all of your assignments, they will, if you choose Google Classroom here, they will see that assignment in their assignments page in Google Classroom. All right, scrolling down, you'll see set due date. So setting the due date here, you get to choose from your calendar, just so that you're aware once the due date is passed, the assignment is no longer available to your students. Okay. Moving over to the right, this is the assign. So the cool thing about assigning this to your students is that you can pick and choose who you would like to assign it to, and you have this filter. So right now the filter says all, and my classes are departmentalized. So I teach 2 sections of, well, this teacher teaches ELA, but say I teach 2 sections of math, right? Right now I'm viewing all of my students from both sections. So if I wanted to, I could assign this assignment to individual students from both sections, okay? Or if I wanted to, using this filter drop-down menu, I could just choose one class. And if I wanted to assign it to that one class, I would just leave it alone the way that it is. Or if I wanted to assign it to either my other class, obviously, I would select that other class and assign it. But if I wanted to select it to all my students, so every single student in both classes, I would choose all. Okay. And you notice if I did check off students' names, if I did want to just individually assign this to different students within my two sections, and I made a mistake, I could deselect, okay, at the bottom. Or if I wanted to select all, I could select, okay. And now I'm going to, so now it says 34 assigned, I have 34 students. And that's how I'm assigning this assignment to all my students if I wanted to. Okay. I'm actually going to deselect all of them because I don't want to assign it to all of them. I'm just going to assign it to this one student that I always use as an example, Mateus. Okay. Next, you'll see you have skill. This is where you could choose your skills. Now, we've already chosen the symmetry skill because I came to this page from the symmetry activity page. So I'm already assigning the symmetry skill. It says here 1 skill selected. So if I wanted to see that, you could see as I scroll down to my skills, it has the symmetry skill encircled in green, and it has a check mark next to it to show that that's 1 skill I've assigned to this assignment. Please notice that there is a tablet icon here. So that means that this skill activity is compatible with tablets and phones. So if your students are on any one of those, they will be able to work and practice in this activity, in this skill. But I also can hear what it's telling you is you're able to choose other skills for this activity. So you don't need to just have 1 skill per activity. I could choose multiple skills. What's even better is if you bring your attention to the right-hand side of my screen right now, you'll see that there are 2 drop-down menus. One says grade and one says grade 4. So the first one that says grade, if I click on that, I'm able to toggle now between search features. So in my other video, how I explained to you the different reasons why you would use these different search features, well, you can toggle between them now. So if you have information about your student from different sources and you want to grab a skill from a data source that's telling you the student needs to practice a skill a grade or 2 below their grade level, you can easily just pop over to this skill search feature here right within while you're building your assignment. So if I'm a 4th grade teacher, but I need my student to practice a skill in grade 3, I could just jump right here and add that right to my my activity. Okay. And then if I wanted to choose the skill, I just come over here to next to skill and choose maybe it's geometry. And I want my students to practice a skill in geometry that they fell a grade or two below in one of their assessments that they took. Okay. So let's see, if I was looking for grade 3, that would be down here. Okay. So that's how you use the skill. Or again, if you're looking at maybe a district assessment and you want this student to practice with a standard that they need to practice in from the results of this district assessment, again, you choose standard, and then you can go ahead and choose the grade level that that standard is in. And now you'll see a results list for those standards in that grade level. All right, so this is another cool way of being able to search out different skills that you want to assign to either a group of students, an individual student in mathgames.com. All right, so once you're finished choosing your skill, at the bottom you're going to click on create, and then your student will have access to this assignment. If you it will be immediately, because the start date is the day that you create it, but also be aware of the due date that you selected. There's one other thing I'd like to show you before I close this video, and that is these information little circles above each segment of the assignment. So if you hover your mouse over that, it will explain to you a little bit about what this area of the assignment is. So it will help you make some decisions if you need to make decisions. So that I just wanted to point that out to you so you know what that's for. All right, guys, I hope this helped. This has been a video on how to create an assignment specifically from the skill when you are looking at the skill. But before I close, I'm just going to quickly jump over to the classes menu option on the left-hand side so that you can see. I'm sorry, it's not classes. It would be in home. And in home, you're able to click on create an assignment. Yeah, in the home, you'd be able to click on create an assignment, and that will bring you to the assignment page. But please notice at the bottom, it says estimated time 0 minutes. And that's because I have not selected a skill yet. The reason why I had an estimated time before is because I jumped to this assignment page right from the skill page that I selected. All right, guys, so I hope this helps. Have a great day.